Hello, middle school students. I wanted to take some time this afternoon to run through the changes that are happening to your schedule now that we're moving to a virtual environment. So if you look down here, you'll notice that the first period on a normal year would begin at 7:45 a.m. While we're virtual, however, the first period won't start until 8:30 a.m. The other thing to note is that your first period will end at 9:20 and your second won't begin until 9:30. This is because we now have 10-minute passing periods between each class. The schedule gets a little bit trickier here at fifth hour. And the basic thing to understand is that your fifth hour class and your sixth hour class have basically been flipped. So rather than having your class from 11:25 to 12:15 p.m. in fifth period as you normally would, now it's going to happen from 1 p.m. until 1:50 p.m. And your sixth hour, what is your lunch, which at school would happen from 12:20 to 1:10 p.m., is actually your fifth hour in the virtual environment, and it will run from 12:20 until 1. So your fifth and sixth hour classes will simply flip. If you had math, for instance, during fifth period in your standard schedule, it would now happen during your sixth hour from 1 to 1:50. So let's look at a schedule very quickly to imagine how this works. So the day begins at 8:30 a.m. with Mr. Stone. It runs until 9:20 with a 10-minute passing period, and you move on through your day. When you hit your fifth period, though, it won't start until 1 p.m. and it will run until 1:50. So you have this big gap here. Your fourth hour class ends at 12:20, and this class doesn't start until 1. That's because your lunch is fitting into this 40-minute slot from 12:20 until 1. So your non-scheduled course, what was your sixth hour, now becomes your lunch and goes from 12:20 until 1. And your fifth hour class is going to run from 1 to 1:50 p.m. Okay. I also want to spend a little bit of time explaining to y'all how your classes are going to look during virtual learning. So we want to make sure that no student is forced to spend an entire day on Zoom calls. That's a long time to stare at a screen. So all of your teachers have basically divided up the week and willingly taken days off. In English, for instance, everyone will be in class on Monday and Thursday, but Ms. Hopprich will take half her students on Tuesday and half her students on Wednesday for small group discussions. That means half of you won't have class on Tuesdays and the other half wouldn't have class on Wednesdays. In science, all of you will have class Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, but on Wednesday, there won't be any class. And in languages and math, you'll notice all your classes are 35 minutes, but they reserve 15 minutes at the end for you to begin your homework. So this is the way that we're trying to make sure that you're getting time away. And Fridays, obviously, will be a low-tech day for everyone. Now, I also want to mention electives quickly, because I think this is a little bit confusing too. All of your electives are going to happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 p.m. to 3:50 p.m. Now, for the majority of you middle schoolers, you selected 2 electives, right? An A-day elective and a B-day elective. Perhaps you wanted to do PE on A days and studio art on B days. For the first 5 weeks of virtual learning, you are only going to have your A-day elective. When you picked up your schedule from school, you should have noticed that only your A-day elective was listed. That's because this is the only thing that you'll do for the first 5 weeks. This will shift, obviously, after this time, and you'll receive notification from the school when this is going to happen. So this is true of PE, this is true of strings, this is true of studio art. Tuesday, Thursday from 3 p.m. until 3:50 p.m. It's also going to be true of study hall. So some of you have, with Ms. Holloway, an 8th period study hall as your A-day elective. Now, the way that we run this is going to look a little bit different. There's going to be a Google Classroom. You'll meet with her that first week. But as the year goes on, it's likely that she's going to provide you with more flexibility so that you don't actually have to call in every Tuesday and Thursday. In fact, she might even create opportunities for you to attend PE if you preferred that on Tuesday and Thursday and you had gotten your work done. So again, it will be more of an optional tutoring session as the year progresses. The final thing that I want to note is this. PE and studio art are still going to happen on Mondays and Wednesdays, but they're going to be totally optional. So let's suppose that you finish your homework or you're done with school at 3 p.m. and you're bored and you would love to attend PE just for fun. Mr. McGee will still be running a class, and so you could log in and attend it. But again, it's only mandatory on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So hopefully this answers a lot of your questions. Your teachers are going to be reviewing the schedule in more depth during open house, and you can also feel free to reach out to them with any particular concerns. But this, again, is a brief overview of the middle school schedule. Thanks, everybody.